Welcome to Moonbase 2.
Hello everybody and welcome to the Moonbase 2 podcast. My name's Andy, Corporate Commander TFW, and I'm joined this week by the man who doesn't count in 3, 2, 1 when he does interviews with John Barber. It's Mikey G Wolf V3. What the fuck are you doing, Mikey? I was looking through your timeline, your audio track. I was like, he's going to say 3, 2, 1 somewhere. It's going to be somewhere near the state. He's not said it. He's just fucking gone into it. Is he a monster? Is he a psychopath now? What happened, Mikey? I thought I knew who you were.
The guy could, they were behind the scenes stuff that makes you disappointed in people in general and the technical competencies of people in power.
I think this is just some fucking bullshit you're coming up with, Mikey. Some fucking horse hockey bull malarkey.
You can't have bullshit from horses.
Oh, can't I?
No.
What if I go in and like open up the stomach or the digestive tract of that horse, put in the bullshit, tie it back up, and then let let nature take its course at that point?
That's just tauntauns.
What?
Also, if you put it into their stomach, they try digesting it and die.
It's fine. They'll poop it out eventually. That's how poo works. Right. Put it anywhere in a body and it'll come out the other end. Right?
I have no adequate words for that.
Yeah, this is why I'm a more successful horse farmer than you are.
I have no words for that either.
You just don't see my miniature horse farm in the back garden that I have?
I'm just thinking about that horse having that existential crisis because it sees all and knows all.
Oh, that's a good horse. What was that from again? What was that from?
Something. There was a cat bug in it, wasn't there?
Oh shit! Yeah. Oh, it was like a weird. It wasn't a spin-off, but it was almost in the same art style as the Adventure Time people.
Yeah. Like I think someone who worked on Adventure Time worked on this.
Yeah. Oh, what was it? Bravest Adventures or something?
Bravest Warriors.
Bravest Warriors. That's it. Oh yeah, Catbug. Catbug.
Yeah. I found a bunch of weird webtoons like that. There was one about a girl with like a cat thing that she was constantly talking to, and he'd go meow, 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 and his subtitles would be something slightly sinister.
I think I heard of that. That sounds familiar.
Weird. Wasn't bad. I mean, it was basically about someone with social anxiety and like who's really weird, and how they deal with the modern life. But wasn't bad.
Yeah. All right. Well, how are you doing this week anyway, Mr. Mikey?
I'm all right. The sky lamp isn't around today, so he's leaving me be.
I was gonna say, are you coping well with it?
Nope.
No, not I. I think I'm coping with it better than you, but I think you just overheat faster than me.
I overheat faster than everyone, and it's literally the hottest the country has ever been.
Yay!
Like, we beat Hawaii like a couple of days ago.
I think people need to imagine Mikey on an iceberg, looking at a polar bear, just looking at him, and you just saying, "You've got it lucky, polar bear."
You think you're better than me?
Look at you, with your white silky fur. And the
like,
blood covering your face.
I haven't eaten in a while. It's just like, fuck.
You're a horrible monster, polar bear. You're not something to be loved anyway.
Yeah.
They're mean. They're not kind creatures.
No, they basically have two settings, and they're basically just a variant of eat.
And don't baby polar bear cubs come out basically as killing machines as well?
They sort of come out ready to kill if they can. Like if there's a seal nearby, they will just basically go for it, and
that's
it's a seal. So if it's not near a hole, it's pretty fucked.
It's a pretty intense fucking predator. But I suppose it has to be where it lives.
Yeah, and then they go off and sexually assault grizzly bears and make some sort of bizarre hybrid that's bigger than both of them put together.
Okay, wait, is that a thing?
That is a thing that happens in the wild.
Really?
They're called Pisleys.
What? I've never heard of that. Really, a Pisley?
Pisley.
That sounds like some bullshit woo-woo you came up with.
No, people used to think they only happened in zoos because, people housing animals they shouldn't. And then someone shot one. And they were just like, holy crap, they're in the wild.
Oh, right. I thought you meant when you said shot one, you meant like a polar bear raping a grizzly bear, and he was just like, this is going to get me on the news tonight.
No. He just had a camera, and I was like, "This is for you, Fox News."
As he pulls out a camera and starts filming, he looks towards the audience and says, "This is my fetish," and looks back. And you go, oh, alrighty, okay.
That's very.
Everyone has their own thing, Mikey. Don't you judge them.
That's a very odd version of Eurotrash you're making there.
I'm just saying we need to bring it back. But we do have Transformers news this week, believe it or not. So let's just kick it off with some Ironfactory stuff, because it feels like it's been a while since we've talked about them. From what I remember about Ironfactory, they don't really release like prototype images of their stuff, really, do they? They just go, here's a thing, it's basically done, the pre-orders are up soon.
Yeah, they have a habit of that. I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing. I mean, this is a repaint at least, so it's not like it's a brand new mold, but it is kind of like, hey guys, is your wallet prepared? No? Here's a toy!
Yes, as they've shown off the IFEX-26A Racer Bros Annihilator. Sorry, not Racer, Racing Bros Annihilator.
Annihilator.
You know, I think
Redalert.
You know, yeah, it's Redalert. I think I would have called him EX26A Anxiety.
Yeah, no, what? Yeah, like Annihilator.
Yeah.
No, that is an inappropriate naming scheme.
Like, if it was based on the More Than Meets the Eye one...
Even that, no,
maybe?
more so, and that would be full breakdowner.
Yeah, granted, personality-wise, but I mean in terms of looks, I think that one looks like he's a bit more of a, in quotation, big quotations, a bit more of an Annihilator than the G1 kind of looking Redalert. Because he looked a bit more beefy, but in terms of personalities, yes, he's much further down the spectrum, I suppose, of social anxiety. Yeah, that's a weird choice in name. Yeah, Legend Scale G1 Redalert from... Is it Sideswpie? It would be Sideswpie, right?
Yeah, Sideswpie.
Yeah. So he's going to be in the same scale as them. He's just got he's just been redone in Redalert's colors. He's also got Redalert's rifle and shoulder cannon with a solid alt mode, apparently. There is no date as of yet for pre-orders, so even though we talked about them putting up pre-orders, we don't have one just yet, so your wallet can be prepared. No idea on the pricing either, but I would suspect if you guess he's going to be around the same price as single releases like not RC because she was well small. None of the lady ones. Maybe it'd be like half price. Probably a bit more. It's probably a little bit more than half price of what the Sunstreaker Sideswipe combo was.
I would assume so because the Sunstreaker Sideswipe one, like there are 2 packs. I always feel they're a bit overpriced.
Sure.
So I think maybe it'll just be, normal pricing.
Yeah, you could be right. How do you think it's turned out? First of all, I've got to say, I really like what they're photoing him on. Like, they've got this really cool, I'm guessing like styrofoam or plastic base, which looks like rubble. And then they've added some really cool, like, sparks and like little flakes of just embers coming up off the ground and smoke effects. They've gone all to town with whoever's like edited the photos for this. It looks real good. Mikey, any thoughts?
I think he looks pretty solid. Isn't shown being romantically held by Inferno, ergo fail. But
they haven't done an Inferno, I don't think, though.
Well, there was their first mistake. But no, I think that he looks pretty solid. Kind of wish he came with more Redalert specific accessories, but one, there aren't that many,
no.
And 2, they're not going to, just so tiny and losable.
Yes, yeah. Can you imagine if they tried to do an alternate head for it? That would be a bit scary, I think.
I have a bad enough when they said one of those Seeker molds you have to build from different models and you get different bits and bobs.
That was Sunstorm you had to do, wasn't it?
Yeah, just like imagine like trying to put on that tiny head.
Yeah. I imagine that thing. I can't remember how it was broken up because you got an arm and a leg. Was the torso including the head?
Don't know.
I'm hoping it was, but I can't remember offhand.
No, I think he's looking pretty solid.
Yeah, the only thing I kind of wish they'd changed, and I mean, it is a repaint, so it is asking a bit much, but it would have been nice to have the chest a little bit different. Just to give him a little bit more. They have painted it so it looks like a Redalert chest, but just something to break that identical look up might have been nice, like flatten out the hood or something on the car rather than it having the angled slope to it. That would
I'd-
be okay, but
I'd
you know,
agree with that.
that's like a super minor nitpick. That's like it would have been nice if, but this is fine the way it is.
Wouldn't it be nice?
If we could, I don't know any more of the words. Mikey, do you want to take us on to another bit of third-party news, please?
Yeah, Fans Toys reveal prototypes for their version of the Masterpiece, Scaled, Wild Rider, and Breakdown. Now, I believe we've seen promo images of these guys at a couple of cons before, but to be blunt, when it comes to yet another Menasor combiner team, they all kind of merge into one.
Oh god, yeah, totally.
So these are called Magnum and Spoiler. We see them in their robot and vehicle modes, and the thing that is making these guys stand out from literally every other one of these toys is that they are in vehicle mode scale. So they are shown here with Masterpiece Sideswpie, and they are in the same scale as him. However, that means they are about twice as tall in robot mode. Sideswpie is at what we call blowjob height.
Oh my god, yeah, Jesus, he is. Holy crap.
They're about the same size as Masterpiece Starscream, but that probably means that Menasor is just going to be ludicrous.
You would imagine so.
Utterly ludicrous. Yeah, aesthetically, you're looking pretty basic, pretty conservative.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They're pretty on the model, and no real style or stylistic elements to them that are making me sort of pop a bit. Yeah, this is very much, unfortunately, falling into oversaturation in my mind, and these don't seem to have anything unique to them beyond the scale factor, and yeah, it's just, they're probably going to cost at least 100 each.
Probably.
At that size in robot mode, so very easy pass. Like, if they're that scale, why aren't they about the same height as Sideswpie?
I don't know.
That must have been possible. You can't tell me it wasn't. But hey, you know, other people get very excited. And
right,
you know, there's the thing about fan.
Sorry, I was just thinking there. Like, you're right. There is no reason that they couldn't have made this smaller, right? Because like the mode for Breakdown is the same car scale, right?
Yeah, actually, one of them's the same car make.
Yeah. So, what?
Engineering for toy accuracy? I don't know.
I guess, yeah, maybe that's it.
Like, the comments are always fun and anything Fans Toys, because Fan Toys has a really weird fan base.
Really? How so? Tell me.
You know how sometimes people fall so in love with something that they literally will never accept anything else, and you know, this group can do nothing wrong, and anyone else who deviates from the statute of this group are essentially evil.
Are we talking about Transformers, or are we talking about my relationship with you?
Bit about.
Okay, that's fine.
So basically, that's what the Fans Toys fan base can be like.
Right. They're very into their fans' toys, then.
Yes, and they'll also really go after Fans Toys whenever they deviate from usually the cartoon models.
Okay.
Which is why, you know, over the years there's been some weird design choices. But so yeah, it's always interesting to just see the madness start to ebb and flow.
Mm-hmm.
But Andy, what's your thoughts on these guys?
I have a few questions. Question 1, is Magnum called Magnum because he's based off of the Magnum PI car? Because I honestly don't know.
Neither do I, but I'm not sure. That wouldn't explain. Like, Spoiler, I get, but Magnum, maybe?
Like, that's it. Like, I was trying to figure out. Spoiler, yeah, he's got a spoiler. Magnum PI's car? Maybe?
How do I put this? I've seen maybe like 10 episodes of Magnum PI.
I've seen the intro.
Also, do you notice the... Yeah. I noticed something and I can't unsee it now. So, look in the second picture.
Right, of Magnum, yes.
Yes, so he's holding the gun up and it's overlapping the Fans Toys logo.
Yes.
Now look in the first picture.
Oh no! The gun's still there. Well, the barrel of the gun. Oh dear.
Oh no! And in fact, it's in the third picture as well.
And Mikey.
And the fourth.
Yep.
And the thing is, in every other one, they have a clean logo.
I'm going through all of them now because I want to see if... No, yeah, it's the 4 photos they did it. Oh, dear. Oh no.
You had one job.
Oh, no. Oh, dear. What a mistake. I didn't even notice that. Good catch, Mikey. Jesus.
Oh, my God.
Here, my other question was, I feel like we talk about fans' toys a lot. How often do they... But here's the thing. I always feel like we talk about them, but I don't know... I feel that we only talk about them doing the prototype images. I don't feel like we talk about them actually releasing the toy.
They do. I mean, as it says here, Fans Toys 31, so they've been getting a lot out there. Didn't they? They did a shock... Were they Quake Wave?
I'm gonna say yes, but in all honesty, I don't know. To me,
Because I know they did a Shockwave.
It always feels like they've got so much on the table, but none of it's actually out yet. Like it's on pre-orders, but it's not out, and I don't know if that's my misconception or what.
I think I saw during the week that they announced a Blitzwing a couple of years ago, and it's still not out.
Oh God, really?
I think so. I think it was them, but I think they've got a design team there that is working. And unfortunately probably is doing too much. Like, all right, we've got a design. Okay, get it to that. Got a design. Get it to that. Got a design. Like, I would rather see 5 designs that are going to come out within the year than know that 3 years down the line you might get something out.
Are you suggesting that there's a Korean sweatshop of just designers just cranking out new designs?
Oh, don't! I saw a thing we're going to talk about later on. It's not really a talking thing, but yeah.
Okay. Don't know where this is going.
Yeah, basically, yeah. There's just a sad Korean family. One Korean family.
Designing away.
We've engineered a new way to make more tune accurate in the chest. Oh, that's nice. Here, have a penny.
Not accurate enough. Slap. Ah!
You used the toy head. I didn't want the toy head. What do you think this is, Scramble fucking City? No food for Jimmy today. Then just walks out. His name isn't Jimmy. It is now.
See, unfortunately, I've got the idea of just Clancy Brown walking up to the family member who wronged them and saying, "Bite down on this. It helps with the pain." 1, 2.
Oh my God. This is rather horrific.
That was called Corporal Punishment, I think, wasn't it? In Starship Troopers, yeah. Oh, that's a good... I know you don't like that, but I like that movie.
Oh, it's a terrible movie, but that is what it's called. That's called corporal. That's what corporal punishment is.
A good old public whipping.
Sergeant Beating is a different guy, but
you don't want to make his brother beat off.
You get it beat off. It just goes up from there.
Yeah, these things are okay. Like you say, it looks like for the fans' toys community, they're going to hit that nail that they want to have hit. They should be pleased by this. I guess I'll be kind of interested to see a tune accurate, in quotations, Menasor. Because I don't think we've seen that, have we? Not a tune accurate one. You know how he had that weird chest thing? God knows how they're going to try and do the arms.
Don't know.
Because he had no elbows.
Well, he had no feet. The thing was, his feet, here's the thing, Menasor is a weird fucking design.
Yeah.
Because what you have is a giant robot that has a car on his arm, sitting on his arms.
Literally.
They don't become his arms, they just sit, and especially on his legs.
Didn't they do that with Superion as well? It was like the season 1 combiners, they just went, we don't know how this fucking works, I don't know. Just stick a plane on his arm, stick a car on his shin, or his calf, that'll do. Boom. Jobs are good.
It's gonna be weird.
Yeah, be interesting to see. Maybe he'll get the lightning bug. Because Menasor held that lightning bug.
People need to let go of this lightning bug.
Lightning bug!
They have this unhealthy obsession with this bug.
Lightning!
I call myself Lightning! I call you dead.
Oh my God. Shall I take us on, Mr. Mikey?
Yes.
This is more just a minor update, I suppose, to the story we talked about last week, which was DNA Designs doing the Optimal Optimus upgrade kit. We get to see some proper images of it. Before it was all silhouette-y, and I was like, I wonder how this is going to work. Now we know how it's going to work. We have extra wheels. We have wheels for the front, wheels for the back, the 2 guns mentioned before, and the 2 Optimus Primal blades, and the new wings, which still, I assume, are just bigger.
Yeah.
And probably more detailed.
Don't know. They're
Probably.
going for more toon accurate, and that wasn't particularly detailed.
Maybe you could be right. Anyway, we see how he is going to form his car mode. Okay, so he holds onto his wheels as he should do. In robot mode, he kind of seems like he just kind of plugs them onto his back, which I don't mind. They almost look like little turbines on his back, not turbines. That would be very
Two
different.
little turbines.
Yeah, two little turbines on his back. I think they don't look like they're super hidden away, but since they probably peg in, you could, if you don't like the aesthetic of them just hanging out there, just unpeg them and put them to the side.
Yeah, and they're no worse than the rest of his ridiculous back kibble,
No, of course. Well, I don't think so anyway. I would agree with
which
that.
is, an entire robot.
The wheels for the back monkey legs they don't really do anything. It seems like once you plug them on, they're just there and they're always there.
Yeah, like the original toy.
Oh, was that what the original toy did as well?
Yep, they just fold back.
Oh, you can flip them up though in plane mode, in quotations, plane mode. Okay. How do you think this has turned out, Mr. Mikey? Actually, I didn't mention in gorilla mode, you can put the wheels together, the front two wheels, and you put them in the gap in his back, because something that I didn't know you could do, which I have seen a lot of people do now, is you don't have to have Optimus Primal attached to his back. He's only held in by like a really small clip or pin.
It's a pin. You knock the pin out, you can basically just have
Two figures.
a robot. Yep.
Yeah, which is what I do.
Yeah, I mean you lose none of the functionality.
Yeah, I to me,
like you can even clip that back on if you want to make the skateboard. So it doesn't, it's the pin is unnecessary for any actual functionality.
Does that make it more or less appealing to you? Because to me, it makes it a bit more appealing because it means that you don't have to have them both plugged in together to make the one mode.
I just see me doing that and then one day trying to sell it and then just going like, oh, someone's going to notice.
This figure was $10,000. Now, because it has no pin, it's worth $5.
It's worth my fist.
Oh my god. It does actually make me... What do you think of this upgrade kit, Mikey? Now that we see it in the flesh, you can see the car mode, which you say is better than the plane mode, like a weirdo.
I'm not wrong.
Does this inspire you to get it more? Do you think it's a decent upgrade kit now that we see it all done?
I think it's a decent upgrade kit. I just don't think it does much. The thing is, it's trying to make it more accurate to the toy and the show model, but that was kind of half the point of the toy anyway, of this figure.
Sure.
So, like, this figure didn't innovate the design really at all.
It really
apart from
didn't.
having, so if I get it, I've got the toy I was looking for.
It almost feels like the toy itself, I suppose, almost feels like a weird, not knockoff, but like third party knockoff attempt.
Like mid-tier third party.
Yeah.
Like basically, they should have done Star Saber.
Yes.
Or Death Stars.
Yeah, like toys that would have benefited a lot more from having a redone version of it. Granted, we're not talking about the DNA kit now. That's fine. Like Mikey said, it's okay. It'll probably be a little overpriced for what it is, though. But how much would you pay for it, Mikey? How much would be too much for you?
I wouldn't pay more than 30 at a very big stretch.
Pounds or dollars?
Either, really.
Okay, what if I was to tell you that, according to Big Bad Toy Store, as I'm looking at it now, it is $24.99.
I think that's relatively reasonable.
Yeah, it's not like, oh my god, that's such a steal. That's like okay, that seems fine. It's maybe a little bit too much in my eyes, but it's not aggressively you're spending too much money here. So yeah, granted, the images that we see, they're not painted at this point. Does it say on here when it's out? Pre-ordered for August, so again, it's out pretty soon. So yeah, there you go. Mikey, this is going to be a quick update really as well, because we've got more on Mr. Tarn, don't we?
Yes. So, Flame Toys, the people who literally taught me, have brought out the first test shot of their up-and-coming Tarn figure. For anyone who doesn't know, this is a fully licensed, non-transforming figure, an actual third-party figure. Trash, garbage, trash. Action Master. It's a fucking Action Master. Based, of course, on Tarn from IDW. This is their second release after Drift. Their next one is Mord Meets the Ice Star Saber. And yeah, we get to see the test shot. It's sort of half production colors, half not. No paintwork on it, but the electronics work, the posability works. We see it's different parts. The parts look like they're from both, like the full edition, like if you bought the one with the extra speakers. And we also see it in scale with Drift, which, when it was announced, one of the big complaints I was seeing is a lot of people talking about, oh, well, it's the same size as Drift. No, he ain't. He's quite a bit larger than Drift. Like, he looks like he ate a Drift. To be completely honest. Yeah, the posability on this thing is insane. It's very accurate to design. Stylized, but very accurate. And it can do what I can only describe as anime delinquent leaning over the camera pose. So, like he's got this more like he's just landed thing, but if he had the two arms resting on his knees, it feels like he'd be able to ask you what you're up to, punk.
Yeah, I can see that.
And smoking or something like that. This thing is nuts. These guys know they're like they're from Sentinel, so you know the engineering quality behind them. And they're from the good Sentinel team too. So yeah, he's due out in September, which is closer, and he costs a fair bit.
So is he still on a Mikey wish list? Is he on the list, the famous Mikey list?
Yes, he is on the, if I had to sell my sister, I would. Or her baby, who continues to battle me.
See, I don't believe that would take you much to get to that position where you'd feel bad for selling your sister, to be fair.
But, yeah, well, she brought the baby into the world. It's her fault. That little looking at me and judging me. And, literally laughing at everyone else. I walk into view. Straight, dead face. Walk out of the room, suddenly hear, ah ha ha, you little...
She's already pegged you. She already knows who you are. I don't like this guy. He's weird.
Yep. But yeah, so Andy, what are your thoughts on he really wasn't that bad a guy.
No, he did nothing wrong.
He's fine.
Kaon deserved it. Well, actually, I say that he did actually deserve it. So
yeah, but it can be like I think it was a couple of years ago. Who was it? Did Starscream did nothing wrong as a T-shirt? So Tarn did nothing wrong. There we go.
There we go. You say the thing I'm most impressed by is the squatting pose that he's got. Like that. How is he balancing? Like, is that a tenuous balance or is that a solid balance? Because if that's a solid balance, that's a really impressive pose to get and have him still balance in a decent way. Like, this is an impressive little boy. I'm gonna say more so than Drift, and I think that is my bias of liking Decepticons more. Thinking Tarn does have a generally more interesting visual aesthetic to him.
Drift's design is leaning into the Tarn does this too, leaning into the anime inspiration.
Yes,
but I feel like in Drift's case, it's more self-aware of it.
See, I was gonna say it's just very conservative because there's not much. It's a very standard. Again, in quotations, Gundam body shape, just with big shoulders. Because he's got big legs and then goes to a thinner waist and then just normal proportions for the rest. That's kind of Gundam-esque. Some Gundams, anyway. Not all Gundams, hashtag. Haha.
Oh, Andy, no.
Oh, yes, Mikey.
No.
Mm-hmm.
We have bad enough reputation as it is.
No, we don't. We can always make it worse. Anyway.
Any other thoughts?
No, not particularly. Looks interesting. Will be too expensive for my blood, but I hope there's someone I know that gets it, and then I can look at them and say, "So, is it good? You a bastard? Are you? Are you a bastard? You're probably a bastard. You bastard." Shall I take us on, Mikey?
Do tell.
Right, this is weird, Mikey. At least I thought it was weird.
Left fucking field would be the way I put it.
Super left fucking field. We get the, I'm not going to say the first part, movie Bumblebee. Which movie Bumblebee is this? Is this the studio series?
Studio series, yeah.
Okay, the one that was a pretty terrible mold from what I remember hearing, right?
the build quality of an exploding child.
Yeah. Granted, this one might be better, but this one, as an exclusive set to come at San Diego Comic-Con, along with the Generation 1 Dino cassettes, the Japanese exclusive Dino cassettes, Dial and Zor. Zor? This is, like...
What?
This is really weird.
Like, for context, because there are going to be people listening to this who don't know. So, when Headmasters came out, they did a bunch of original toys, mostly heads. But they did 4 cassettes called the double cassette bots, which were kind of the Autobot equivalent of Slam Dance. So, you had Dial and Soar, and then you had Graphy and Noise.
Yeah.
And they were 4 dinosaurs, and they combined into Leg Out and something, I can't remember his name. And, Dial and Zor combined into Leg Out. They were not super rare in Japan, but then we found out about them in, the 90s, and people freaked. They were original molds. We never saw them over here. And, yeah, the aftermarket price for these went from maybe 50 or 60 each to sometimes, right, if you Google them and they're up there, when they're rarely up there, it's not uncommon to see one of these cassettes priced at around $800.
Oh boy, that's a spicy meatball.
I saw all 4 being sold on a deal for $1,000.
I like that, a deal.
You could hear my air quotes, couldn't you?
I could, because these things aren't big. Let's
No,
not
these are,
forget.
these are the same size as every other cassette you've ever had that goes in your Soundwave or your blaster.
Yeah, so what, 2 inches, something like that.
So everyone kind of assumed the molds were gone, or just no one had the interest in reissuing them. Presumably the molds aren't gone.
Seemingly not. Or they've been made new, but I doubt that.
Be like for a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive, that would be bizarre.
Yes.
That would be bizarre. Oh man. Yeah, and this gets weirder.
How?
Because one is almost accurate to the original color scheme and stickers and stuff. The other one's
right.
translucent orange. He used to be blue. Normal blue.
Yeah, I didn't think they were the same color. I thought they were different.
And he's a Decepticon now.
Yeah, sure.
And what's the name they're giving him? Dairu and Uruaz, which is one is the phonetic pronunciation of dial in Japanese, and the other is the phonetic pronunciation of Zor in Japanese, but reversed.
Huh. Well, that's odd.
Which means that you cross-factional cassette box combiner. And apparently the Bumblebee color scheme is based on a real car.
Really?
So I saw a photo, and it was just this is just something, this is a rare version of this car mold.
Well,
in the real thing.
I can't say that's super surprising, because Bumblebee's car mode is just effectively gold with instead of a black stripe, more of a black point.
Yeah, but apparently this is, everyone was saying gold bug, but no, this is real.
No. Yeah.
And then, everyone was going gold plastic syndrome!
No, that's
not knowing what that... Do you know someone tried to talk me out of getting Beast Boy's Galvatron that way?
Really?
Because he has gold feet, and people are going gold plastic, no, he'll explode, and it's just they don't have swirls.
The part of Galvatron that does, from what I remember, is I think they can have gold plastic on his nose cone drill thing, but not his feet.
I never had any problem with any part of him.
No,
and I had him for about 12 years.
Yeah.
But it was when I wouldn't really have cared if the nose cone went, because it's only really relevant in one mode, and it's the worst mode.
Yeah, one terrible, terrible mold. If you want to complain about gold plastic syndrome for Beast Wars 2nd, Randy is your buddy.
Oh, look at Randy. Look at him and watch him die in front of you.
I was just going to say pick him up and squeeze him very gently, and then open your hand, and it's sand. No, I didn't have sand in my hand before.
There was a pig here.
Oink, oink, and then he's gone. Yeah, but this thing's weird. I mentioned this to our buddy, yours and mine, Mr. Wayne, because he's got most of G1 at this point. And one of the few things that he doesn't possess is this thing. So I said to him, okay, Wayne, you probably don't want to spend the amount of money for the normal ones. These don't have the right color scheme. But I also suggested that doesn't mean there won't be a reissue of these into the proper color scheme. But I would play on the side of caution and say, if you want this mold at a cheaper price, even if it's not 100% accurate, or the one is completely inaccurate because translucent orange plastic is a weird fucking choice. Just get them.
Because he's evil.
Yeah.
I saw people complaining about the price, so...
Oh, yes. I didn't mention the price for this set is $60. And...
Yeah, you know what? Yeah. If you were telling me for that Bumblebee, yeah, that is ridiculous price. And if this was a funny-looking Rewind and Steeljaw, or Slam Dance, I would say you're better off getting the real ones. Your options here are $800 originals or knockoffs.
Yeah.
And if you're comfortable with knockoffs, feel free. But if you want to get the official toy, like, you're going to be paying a hell of a lot less for two of them than you'd be paying for one of them.
And how much was Studio Series Bumblebee, do you remember, when he came out? Was he about $25 or something like that?
He's €25 in Smiths right now.
So at the very least, he would have been... Because I remember, like, people complained about the price of him in the US
yeah,
as well.
because he's small as well. So.
Yeah, so let's say he was $25. So, you know...
You're getting him cheaper.
Yeah.
And you're getting them cheaper.
Yep.
So, I mean, like, I'll be honest, if you had an interest in these... they're going up for the SDCC. They're going to be on Hasbro Toy Shop. Honestly, maybe you'll get another chance of getting them. Maybe. But I'd say you have a better chance of getting redos of the other two in some other version. I would say this is one of those moments where I honestly think you're not getting a second shot of this. If I'm completely straight with myself.
I don't think that's crazy to think, just because of what these things are. Maybe
we're going to get... Now we know they have the molds. Maybe they'll do an encore release or something like that, but...
Or they'll do a Sound Blaster or a Twin Cast or something like that. I could see that.
I have to say that my gut instinct is that if you're interested in these guys, contact someone who's going to SDCC. Contact someone who can go on Hasbro Toy Shop if you can't go on yourself. Watch like a hawk and leap at them when you get the chance. Because this is kind of like a moment in Transformers history. And I think it's a moment that's not going to hang around.
No, here's the thing. I don't know. I can't imagine how popular this set might be. Because there's a Bumblebee that's, in some ways, the main thing. For the casuals. For people that don't know G1?
I think for the casuals in general. I think Transformers fans will, like, regardless of what era they're into, they will be looking at the dinosaurs just because they will never have seen them.
Just be like, scalping time.
Yeah, no, seriously. Like, there are guys who have no interest in G1 who've never seen those two toys. And either they're going like, okay, cool, weird molds I'll pick up. Or, oh, cool, someone will pay double for these. And people will, because they're still cheaper than buying the originals.
Yeah, certainly. That's not an endorsement for going out and being a scalping bastard.
Don't be a shit.
No.
But this is...
odd.
Did not see this coming.
No. It's very strange.
And it's a factor packed in with a Bumblebee as well.
Yeah, there seems to be no rhyme or reason to it unless these two are in the movie, which I no. No. Like, imagine if these, like, that's the tenuous link. It's like, she just has these cassettes, and it's like, I got these from my dad who made transforming toys, like you, Bumblebee. What? What's happening? Beep, boop, beep.
I should stop doing this, but I am scrolling down the comments, and it's literally turning into clear evidence that Hasbro is dying and don't know what they're doing.
What? Why?
And it kind of annoys me. These G1 rarities are shoehorned in with Michael Bay junk.
Now, granted, it is weird.
Takes her almost a bribe to try and get us to buy the new Studio Series toy.
That doesn't sound completely unfair.
I just have a pile of Bumblebees. Please just take him. Oh. We'll give you anything.
Oh, what if that is the case? Well, no, it wouldn't be. But let's play this scenario out. So they've got warehouses full of these Bumblebees. They're like, right, we need to just spray these motherfuckers gold.
Yeah. No one will buy them. No one will buy them.
Give him some fucking Dino cassettes.
Next one. Dinobots! Original Dinobots!
All with Bumblebee.
yeah. But because I hate to tell people this, but the Studio series is relatively popular among even people who don't like the movies.
Yeah, it's doing okay. I would imagine.
I saw Starscream in my Smiths recently. I was just like, if I had the spare money, I'd honestly consider picking him up.
Really?
Then I realized Scorn was next to him. I was just saying, like, no, if I have the money, I'm picking you up.
I was gonna say because he's a much better version of Scorn. For me, I've always thought like, is that Starscream better than the Masterpiece?
Apparently, a lot of people are saying it is.
Really? Oh, I'm surprised. Okay.
Like, it got like him, Megatron, Optimus, Grimlock, and Blackout have all got kind of rave reviews.
Huh. But is that because they're new and the shine hasn't worn off?
These are from people who also tore a lot of the deluxes apart.
Okay, fair enough.
So, to be honest, I think it's just like the Voyagers and the Laters is where the money is in that series.
So. You're probably right. Yeah, so I wonder if we'll get any other exclusives. Maybe the other exclusive, if there is one for SDCC, we'll have the other two in.
No!
Maybe.
No!
Why no?
Because we know what it is.
What is it?
It's well, we've seen it. I don't know. Knowing what it is exactly the word I would use.
Okay.
Because that's a lead-in. I'm using it as a lead-in.
Oh, okay.
I'm using it as a lead-in. So, we do have news on the other STCC exclusive. It's from Super 7.
Oh, it's this. Oh.
Yeah, they're doing reaction figures, which are like these vinyls. We saw a preview of these a while back. I think it was at some convention early in the year.
Wasn't that Soapstone? Or is that a soap company that were doing these? Or is that another thing? That's
another thing. That's another thing.
Okay.
But we saw previews of sort of cartoon characters. Now we see that they're going to be doing an X-ray figure. So this is Super 7 X-ray Optimus Prime, which will be available at San Diego Comic-Con. Which is vinyl Optimus Prime. With I think he's got arm posability, and that might be about it. Who comes with a gun and everything else. He is clear plastic. He is the clearest of plastics. But if you take off his front, he has innards.
Yeah.
For one, and like they can be seen obviously through the chest when it's translucent, but he has innards.
Yeah, kind of. It reminds me of. Do you remember those terrible magazines you bought each week to build up the human body, and you got like a liver? It's like that. Yeah,
but it's not just that. It's just like they don't match the innards I've ever seen in any version of Optimus Prime.
No, they seem to be unique. I guess
they've got a really weird matrix, and then it kind of looks anime, but it reminds me. No, do you know what it reminds me of? VR Troopers.
Mm-hmm.
Or what was it? Metal. The one with the silver and blue. Was he silver and blue or blue and red? He was the Metal Man series it was based on. Oh, what was his name? The one that everyone was going on about and no one could find for ages until it got fan subbed. Oh man,
Gavan. Oh. Space Sheriff Gavan?
No. It's the one that VR Troopers was based on, or at least one of the ones VR Troopers was based on.
And the main, I don't know because it's like
the main guy. Yeah, he was silver and blue. And oh my god, I'm gonna check this because this is gonna drive me. But Metal Man VR Troopers. But he's just the color layout. He's reminding me of that. We are VR. If for anyone who doesn't know what VR Troopers is, think Power Rangers, or like Saban trying to ride the Power Rangers train.
They were Troopers
Metalder.
Supreme. They were virtual reality. They were Troopers Supreme.
Their dog talked.
It did.
Yeah, but Metalder. That was it. That's what I'm thinking of.
Okay. Well, there you go.
I have that, but I haven't watched it yet.
What, Metalder?
Apparently it's really, really good, like Jetman good, but...
Oh, well, I remember, liking the visuals for VR Troopers. Like, all the monsters and the suit fights, I was always like, oh, this is pretty sick, but I don't remember enjoying the show.
Well, no, that's because, it wasn't a good show. I just watched it because I was just like, the Power Rangers going to show up.
It was, though. It was better than tattooed teenage alien fighters from Beverly Hills.
Never knew that existed until TJ Omega did his video on it.
Oh, I watched that in the mornings.
It was better than Samurai Cyber Squad.
No, it wasn't. Super Samurai Cyber Squad was way better than Teenage
it's
Alien
not.
Fights from Beverly Hills.
Even as a child, I hated those monster designs.
You don't know, because you didn't see them back to back, because that's how it went in the mornings for me.
It was bloody Ultraman. And
Yeah.
I don't like Ultraman monster designs.
Yeah, but
Gridman, the cyber, whatever he was, he looked fine. But I don't like Ultraman monster designs.
they weren't the best, but Tim Curry was a voice actor on it.
Yes, he was.
He was Killer Khan.
He was Killer Khan.
Yeah. And the upgrades that the Ultraman Gridman got were pretty sick as well.
Yep.
And there
those
was a
are
giant
fine.
robot dragon as well.
I will watch
sick.
the anime that's coming out, but
Oh, that looks pretty sick.
I really hope it's good because there's a lot of revivals lately, and not all of them are 100%.
Yeah, that's true.
I've got to watch the. I've never seen a Cutie Honey thing, but I might as well watch the one that came out.
Isn't that like a cutie? No, I'm thinking of Pretty Cure. No, never mind.
Like, Cutie Honey is the one done by Go Nagai.
Oh no.
So I
Oh,
don't know what
no.
to expect. Well, actually, no, I know what to expect, but I'm like, do I? How girded should I be?
There will be boob missiles of some description in your boob weaponry of some description in your
Oh
future,
my God.
Mikey.
Just go back over it and just like, wow, they've cleaned it up a lot.
Wow, there's not nearly as many nipples as I remember.
That rape scene was much shorter in the modern anime.
Yay! Oh god.
Oh wait, no,
guy.
it wasn't. Devilman.
Devilman.
Still not. Crybaby's fine.
Visually, it was interesting. Not good, but interesting.
It's very much a show for lapsed, for people who are lapsed, in my opinion, or people who just like crazy visuals.
Sure, yeah, I could see that.
But
Anything else then on this translucent, see-through, I can see your organs Optimus Prime, Mikey?
not much. X-Ray Optimus Prime. Keep an eye out for him.
I don't like you anymore. It was tenuous beforehand, but now it's just gone too far. I'll take us on to the last two bits of news, Mr. Mikey, because why not? First, I want to throw this in because it's not a big bit of news or anything like that, but I thought, push her in. So, there are rumors of a possible upcoming masterpiece movie Megatron, Jazz, and Starscream. There's not a huge amount of information, hence why it is a rumor, but this is coming from rumors via the Chinese Baidu web. Baidu? I think that's how
Like
you
the
say
dark
it.
web.
Probably. It's the Chinese dark web.
I'm not trying to be like really culture insensitive or anything like that. I just don't know what Baidu means.
No, me neither. Or even if that's how you pronounce it, it looks like it probably is. So, here's a question straight off the bat. Would the Starscream be a re-release of the Starscream that came out before? Would it be a brand new figure, or would it be the Japanese release of the Studio Series version, do you think?
I would assume it's all new because
Okay.
Masterpiece, the Masterpiece movie stuff has all been new.
I would think so as well, but you never know. It seems weird then that's the case, because that's like another Starscream to come out pretty soon.
Yeah, but that wouldn't shock me because like we've gotten a Masterpiece Ironhide coming out, and we had a Studio Series Ironhide come out.
So would you suspect then that Megatron will be based off NB01, like the first movie Megatron? Or he turned
Either
into
that or Dark of the Moon,
shape.
and I'd actually say Dark of the Moon is more likely just because you can engineer a toy to do that.
Yeah.
I don't think you can engineer a toy to turn from that robot into that plane.
I don't think you'd want to, though, because, I mean, that jet mode was very...
Because they're clearly not made to turn... I always hated it when they told us, we really considered the real physics of this. And it's like, lying bastards. So I would say Dark of the Moon would be what my money is on.
It would be the
but then
sensible
again,
choice.
if it's Masterpiece, I could see them doing Revenge of the Fallen.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's a popular enough design, simple enough.
Yeah. But they've
honest-
done that one recently as well, was it? Because that's the
Yeah,
one
but-
that they did for the Studio Series. So I think it'd be better to do the one that you said, the Dark of the Moon one, because, oil tanker truck, you could give him a cape for an accessory, you could give him an elephant gun, so...
Give him an elephant.
Yeah, why not? At least
Give
half
us that
of
scene.
one.
Just give us that scene. We all know you filmed it.
There you go. You could also give him that weird, fat little brain blob creature that did nothing.
Yeah.
that they made a big deal out of for like a few weeks on the internet because they thought it was going to be something of value in the middle.
Well, like Shockwave.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like Shockwave. And then there's Jazz, who hopefully will have a feature where you can pull him in half. Oh, Jazz. I want someone to buy the movie piece Jazz figure, break it in half, and throw it into the bin and go, oh, Jazz.
And just have a sign up movie accuracy.
Totally worth it. Last bit of news is the fact that TFCon Chicago, that's right, has announced another voice actor. Bub Davis will be going over to the convention, as I think it's his first time. Yeah, apparently on the little sign there's got first convention appearance. And this guy did the voice of Dirge, of Metroplex, and of Predaking. So there you go. So that's kind of interesting.
I'm going to admit something, and I don't want people to judge me.
Okay.
I don't remember what any of them sounded like.
I remember what Metroplex sounded like because I remember him screaming my
about
eyes.
his eyes.
Yeah, where are my eyes?
I remember that, but I can remember the tone, but the voice escapes me.
The problem with Dirge is I don't know if I remember Dirge's voice or I remember, Thrust or Ramjet's.
I think I remember Ramjet, but I think...
I'm trying to remember the girl who loved Powerglide, and that's not a pleasant thing to try and remember.
Wife beating. That's what it was. She bounced.
She did.
He threw her so hard, she bounced.
But as Becca said, we found out one of Megatron's ultimate weaknesses: sass. Girly sass. It brought down the tyrant. She's too stupid to use the machine. I'll have it torture her. But yeah, Bub Davis will be heading over. So if you want to go and say hi to him, make his first convention a good one, a fun one. So he'll come over to other ones. I'm going to throw in one other bit of quick news, and it's not really news, it's more of a Mikey thought. Give us a little thought, Mikey, of what you think of the new Blast Off toys. Since I added my thoughts in to last week's show, how do you think this guy has turned out? Do you think it was worth penning him over to hide this figure, this stalwart, beast of artistic design?
I think someone had something to prove.
What did they have to prove? That they can use a pen?
Yes.
Yay.
I think they left. Basically, I think before any of this happened, someone left it on a table and a child just dived in front of it. It's like, I'm coloring, Daddy. Oh no! I was going to show. But I gotta put something in.
I'll just put this up. It's fine.
I've gotta put something in.
It's fine. It's fine.
It'll be fine. No one's gonna get angry about this. It'll be fine.
It's fine.
But yeah, I think it is the best looking version of this mold. I like the colors. I especially like because it does kind of match up with the IDW Blastoff, who's now my favorite version because what a prick.
Yep. He did nothing wrong, Mikey.
He did plenty wrong, Andy. he did wrong in a very wrong way.
Every time he took a step forward, he just decided to do it incorrectly.
Every time he took a step forward, he sort of backflipped sideways, so he was making as little progress as possible. But yeah, I think the colors are really nice. I think the mystery about this, both on the official side and everything else, has been slightly hilarious. Which make me think like Punch Counterpunch is going to turn out to be like a re-release of the Sunstreaker mold from 2008. I would laugh. Because they've already done that exclusive.
No.
I just I would laugh, and he'd have a tiny head. He'd have a teeny tiny head. But no, I think he looks pretty solid. I think Amazon is going to overcharge for him, but I think if you haven't got the Blastoff mold already, this is the best version to get. So yeah, there's that, and probably, to be honest, on the secondary market, once you factor everything in, it is probably cheaper.
See, I would say you're wrong.
Never.
I would say the Japanese one's the best one, but I said that last time as well.
He looks a little bit too bright for my taste.
Yeah, that's probably a fair point. But I think I'd prefer it overall. Actually, I'm not sure how animation accurate the Japanese one is, because he probably could have been a lot darker. Not a lot darker, but at least a little bit darker. Kind of an in-betweeny brightness between the two of them.
I've ruined it for everyone now.
Yay! Right, so that's all of our news this week, Mr. Mikey.
One little thing I wanted to throw in.
Oh,
just
no!
As a social services announcement. No! So, yeah, the free comic book day issue of Unicron, issue 0, is now out on Comixology for Nout. I would say this is not really a skippable issue. This is a big issue and lots happens in it. A lot happens in it. This is basically a free full issue. And yeah, I think it really needs to be checked out. The event's starting either this month or next month. So it's going, it's going to be kicking off. Kick it up, if you will. Digimon. I saw a video about Digimon earlier on to put it in my head. But yeah, so yeah, keep an eye out for that. We do have a plan for Unicron for the comics thing that is beyond our usual plans, but I'm not telling. It will fall into a system I am devising in my head and have been devising for some time, but I am a man of secrecy. And
I thought you were a man of lies.
I'm both. I am many things.
Don't peg me
also,
as one thing.
Like, there is going to be a public release of our reviews, but when it's coming out, it's going to be very dependent on some other stuff I'm working on, basically. But yeah, also, as we announced on the main comic show, the initial version of these will be the Patreon exclusive things for the next couple of months. But given the nature of the book, I felt it was important to make sure that there was a public release eventually. So look at the Patreon this time as an early go.
Yay!
But how it's coming out, when it's coming out, whatever. Not telling.
Never.
Knowledge is for the weak. But yeah, just thought I'd make sure that people knew that issue's out. And if you're into the comics, it's free. And you don't have to leave your house.
I mean, you can. The comic's not forcing you to stay at home. I don't think, anyway.
Every time you open the door, it's just like a comic book falls in it, a really heavy trade paperback that just knocks your hand away from the handle.
Oh dear.
I just want to go outside. You haven't read your book yet.
Not yet. Get back inside. I need food. No food for you.
You need to read.
No food for you.
But I read it already. You didn't absorb.
No, exactly. You need to absorb that shit. Right. Well then, Mr. Mikey, I guess we'll move on. What have you been up to this week? What have you done for fun?
A little bit to talk about now. This morning I caught Darling in the Franxx, episode 23.
All right.
Very difficult one to talk about. It's very action heavy. It's mostly action with a bit of the feelings interspersed. The way I can describe it, it is the most Gurren Lagann episode of the series.
Okay.
Tail end Gurren Lagann. Particularly in how it handles a couple of elements. Now, whether that's good or bad is very much up to the individual viewer. There's at least one moment I think is going to be divisive.
Ooh. How did you take it? Was it a positive for you, or was it a negative?
I was just like, okay, yeah, sure, this makes sense.
Oh, for you, it's just a thing.
It was just like, okay, with what we found out about what the Franxx are, I can actually make this work.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's not like it doesn't like go against the sensibilities of things. It's just like you had a visual in mind and you really wanted to use it, guys. It's very clear. It's kind of neat. I think it's neat. I'd buy a figure of it, but it's neat. But yeah, like I think next episode probably just going to be an epilogue episode.
Right.
I think the main thrust of the story is done. So I think we're going to have our epilogue next time. So yeah, difficult one to talk about, this one. Difficult one to rate. Really is kind of super dependent on how you took the end of series twist.
Okay.
Also, apparently Hero Academia is not ending. They're going for a double length season.
Hooray!
So a little surprising. So this time they had a comedy episode of everyone moving into school dorms, which was quite fun. Had a little bit of emotion in there at the end that I would have felt more on if I thought the bits of the story focused on the main characters were particularly good so far. Sadly, it had it worked because it had the frog lady in it, and everyone likes the frog lady.
Yay!
If it had any other character, I would have gone like, no.
Mikey out.
Mikey out. But it was fun. I laughed quite a bit in this one. Good fun. Bakugo's still shit. He really is, as a person. I know, fun episode. My Persona catch-up has failed miserably, as has my Steins Gate catch up. It's just like, oh, I might try at least one of those tonight and make sure I'm up to date. Other anime-wise, okay, one weird thing. Saw it a little while ago. Super Dragon Ball Heroes Episode 1 was released.
Oh, right, okay. It's not
Did
a
you
game
know
then.
No. So it is a game, but this is a promotional anime which will run for several episodes for the latest saga of the game, which has been going since 2010.
Does it still have kids going into the video game?
Not in this.
Right.
I'm assuming that's still part of like the promotional side of things
right.
and like the player characters, but this is very much focused on basically Trunks and Mai have come back from the future to hang out and train on Beerus's planet, as you do. Trunks goes missing. It turns out he's on something called a prison planet, which is basically our solar system wrapped up in giant chains.
Okay.
He's sent there. The guys catch up. They end up meeting another Goku from the Time Patrol stuff from like Xenoverse and whatnot. There is a bit of a scuffle, and then it turns out, more going on, and there's a new villain introduced at the very end.
Dum dum dum.
Dum dum dum. Something they didn't tell anyone when this was being advertised, though.
Oh.
It's 8 minutes long.
Oh, that's short.
Yeah. It's advertised as Goku versus Goku. That's about a minute.
Right.
And it's less of a fight and more punch, punch, punch. Oh, I've got some strategy. Bang. That didn't work. Okay. Well, it's kind of interesting, though. So they've gone with Super Saiyan Blue Goku, the usual one, who is his usual stupid self. And then the other Goku is Super Saiyan 4 Goku.
Ah, right. Okay, fairy one.
Yeah. And he's much smarter. Like, he's noticeably smarter than regular Goku. And they did this thing where, you may not know, in the Japanese dub for Super Saiyan 3 and 4, they did this thing where everyone dropped their voice down a lot.
Oh, okay.
So he just has that, even when he's in his normal form, he's just like that all the time. Also, he has a really cool outfit. But yeah, Super Saiyan 4 Goku, way smarter than normal Goku. Way smarter. And it's just like, oh yeah, I'm working for an interdimensional police squad now. And just like, oh, I want to watch your show.
It sounds different.
Yeah, because he's got a Vegeta too. And it's just like, I want to watch their show. Because
yeah, but his Vegeta has a mustache.
No, he doesn't.
What?
He's just like regular Vegeta.
That's the wrong Vegeta from that
But
universe.
he still turns into Super Saiyan 4. He's just like, yep, don't care. He shaved and grew his hair back.
Get that touch back.
I missed that outfit. I will say, I always liked that GT outfit for Vegeta with the jacket.
Yeah, it was neat. It was a little bit like 90s dumb.
Yeah,
but I guess I think that's kind of when GT came out, though, isn't it?
Late 90s.
Yeah.
But, so yeah, it was. I wanted to see more of him, and I kind of want to see a whole series about this whole Time Patrol thing, because I've been vaguely aware of it. Like, apparently there's this ridiculously large site of the mythos no one in the West knows about.
I mean, if you just watch those intros for that game series, you just sit there going, what the fuck is happening?
The manga and stuff about that. And
there's manga for it as well. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I've never read any of it. I've seen one panel, and it didn't look like the art was great, but... But yeah, so I'm curious, and like the trailer revealed some stuff that's coming, and they had a new trailer out today, which I stumbled upon, which revealed what Vegito is probably going to be in this. He's going to have a new outfit, which is basically, instead of blue, his outfit's going to be grey, because Vegeta's wearing grey.
My God.
Which actually, I'm fairly certain, broke the internet. And he's going to use Kaioken.
Okay, of course.
But I was just like, didn't he like last 5 seconds when he actually had to use any real power last time because it melted him?
Yeah,
fine. All I want to know is, does this mean we're going to get Gogeta come in at the same time? We're going to have the two of them fight, because I'd watch that. But also, I bet it pissed off someone, because the whole Super Saiyan Blue 4 fight basically ended in they're pretty much even.
Oh.
So, like, there's a lot of fan theories and YouTube channels dedicated to Dragon Ball stuff that's probably going to melt.
It makes no sense. Don't worry about it.
Listen, he's literally fighting a better version of himself who's smarter than him and does something functional in the world beyond hit something and put the entire sense of reality in danger.
Mm-hmm.
There are bigger issues here in terms of believability. You know? It's fine. Yeah, it also highlights that 4 is just a better design. I'm sorry, it just is. But yeah, 8 minutes, very rushed. Like they've got at least a full episode's worth of content packed in. So like not a lot of setup of a villain and stuff, but not a bad little watch. I'll be keeping an eye out for the next one, which I think is out in a couple of weeks.
All right.
Caught up on Rider. Build got episode 41 and 42 out. We find out what the fucking best matches are.
Hey, I thought we did that last week. I thought that's what you said last week.
I don't think it was released. No, we said that after the show, I think, because I don't think it was
okay.
released last week when we were talking. Yeah, because I messaged you on Twitter. I remember. But yeah, we find out how the best matches work, why they are so fucking random at times, and why they don't make sense. Like all of it's explained 41 episodes into the show, when best matches are almost irrelevant.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
So, yeah. The show's gone full plot again, and I'm not sure how I feel about that. Rogue gets a bit of character stuff, but it's really focused on Sento's dad, who hasn't mattered up until like an episode ago.
Okay.
And I'm like, I didn't even remember he had a dad. I'm not kidding. So, but just Kamen Rider and dads. I'm sure he's fine. I'm sure he's lovely.
Yep, nice guy.
I'm sure he's a wonderful person who's done nothing wrong. But no, not bad episodes, but they're an improvement over the last few, but still, Banjo Cross has a good moment in this. But Mad Rogue is now hilariously irrelevant.
Oh, already? Jesus.
Already. Like, literally any one of them could beat him now.
Has
Rogue
he been
could
around
beat
for
him now.
2 episodes?
He had one episode, but he had one episode where he won in a fight. And how did he win in that fight? He fought Base Form Cross, or Great Cross.
Sure.
Which is like the most plot convenient thing. Oh God, you're so powerful. You have literally you're not even trying.
Shh, go to sleep.
I must fight. But yeah, that was Kamen Rider. Anything else interesting this week? I saw a show on the evils of the fashion industry called The Real Cost, which laid out bare the nature of sweatshops, Korea and otherwise.
All right.
Harrowing, not enjoyable. Kind of like Blackfish.
I was gonna say it's probably a raunchy fun time, isn't it?
Kind of like Blackfish, though, in that I think everyone probably should see it at least once.
Yeah, though I did hear that Blackfish was controversial and slightly sensationalized.
Not really.
Apparently was.
I checked out the research side of things.
Yeah.
I mean, it's sensationalized in that everyone is talking about the way like it's a person.
I don't know.
I
mean, if you've done the research, then you know more about it than me.
I can say from independent research and academic scholarly research kind of stuff, pretty fucked up, to be blunt.
Yeah.
There is a remarkably well-kept record of whales fucking themselves and everyone else up. But Blackfish has entirely got an agenda. That's unarguable.
Yeah.
Like, it is entirely one-sided. But, it got me reading anyway. I read it. There's a Jurassic World book out that I read, which was fairly terrible. Because it was a young adult one by someone I don't think ever... She had a weird thing where she always had Raptor with a capital R. But it was The Raptor. And it's basically a prequel to the first movie. But it does have some lore stuff that's been dropping over the last few months, so nice.
Was it Chuck Dingle or Chuck Tingle that wrote it?
No. I think the funny bit is that how mad the Jurassic Park fandom got over the fact they called the T-Rex Rexy and not Roberta.
Oh, okay.
So Roberta was the production name in the script,
right?
But was never used in anything. In the original Jurassic Park novel, there's a T-Rex called Rexy. So once the fandom got an online presence, they just started transferring the name.
Right.
So the Jurassic Park T-Rex became known as Rexy, especially when she showed up in Jurassic World and Fallen Kingdom.
That makes sense.
So now, it's the longest. It's shown up in 3 movies. Give it a fucking name, but lots of people saying no, it must be the name from the script that was not in the movie.
No, it should be the name from the book. I would have thought.
Yes. So no, people weren't happy about that. But now there is. I'm sure of dubious importance. There is a young adult novel out there that says Rexy. And I'm sure someone is flipping a table. Yeah, I did some other things. The only other thing I'm rambling a bit today, just to eat time, to be completely honest. But the only other thing I want to mention is that the Death of Superman leaked. Did you hear about that?
I watched it.
I watched it as well.
Watched it days. It was fine. It was like, hey, I've seen this before.
So this is the second adaptation. The other one was Doomsday, Superman Doomsday.
Yeah, that was
the
old one, wasn't it?
That was the first one.
Yeah.
That was the very first one of these movies. And this is set in the new 52 sub-universe they've got going on, so they basically have to
really
sort of...
matter?
There's one reference to it, which is like, we were dating. Not anymore.
Yeah.
I want to bang Lois.
Yeah, pretty much.
And... but honestly, I kind of liked it more than I thought. It did probably the most important thing any Superman media can do, and so many of them fail to do. The story was about Clark, not Superman.
Yeah,
which
I'll give you that.
Drives me up the fucking wall. When it's like, oh, Kal-El, oh, Superman. No, Kal-El doesn't actually matter that much in Superman movies. Clark matters. That's why you should have him in fucking Man of Steel, but he's not.
We all suggested that, the boat guy.
Oh, God, yeah.
We all suggested by the end he took his boat out to sea, got himself some concrete slippers, and decided to throw himself in the water because Superman wasn't there anymore.
That was really twisted as well, because I remember him from the animated series.
All right, okay.
Because I think that's where he was introduced. And I was just like, oh, you were jaunty back in the day.
He was in the original comic. He wore a sweater in the original comic as well, with a big Superman symbol on.
But I think they did a fairly good job of setting up the next movie.
The problem is I've seen it so many times, like, whenever they bring in Doomsday, it's always like, well, we're not going to do the exact death and return of Superman, but we're going to basically follow it. Like, it wasn't exactly the same, but him in Justice League, to
be fair,
similar.
Him in Justice League was completely different. Just because the entire structure was him versus Justice Lord Superman, who gave no shits.
But when they were fighting in a volcano.
Oh yeah.
It's still by the end of it. It's still because effectively it's a Superman story, but then kind of very quickly focuses on a big old punch out fight at the end.
Yeah, the problem it has, and the problem I will always say, is that Doomsday is a terrible villain.
Yeah,
he is a very, very boring version of the Hulk.
Oh yeah, Grey Hulk too.
Yeah,
Spiky
and then,
Hulk.
Can I just say, screw Attack, Doomsday versus Hulk, my absolute arse.
Oh, did they do things that you weren't pleased with?
Doomsday kills the Hulk by stabbing him through the head and taking it off or something like that. And I was just like, fuck off. Like, no. No. Just, he is literally a weaker version of the Hulk. Not even the super strong Hulk, just a regular Hulk. Because that's all he is. He's like, what if the Hulk was in Marvel and beat Superman until they killed each other?
I don't think you should worry about Death Battle and their scientific approach to figuring out who's the bestest hero.
Okay, so here's the little thing. You know their scientific approach?
Yeah, their pseudo-scientific approach.
Not particularly scientific.
No, I'm not shocked.
And many of their matchups are hilariously biased.
No.
Because they did Pokemon versus Digimon, and that wasn't a fight. That was a massacre.
Yeah.
I got a bit of a giggle because they did, oh, here's the fight. It was actually rather even till the end, and then at the end it's just like, oh no, he didn't stand a chance against any of them. Just like, why'd you do it? Why'd you do it?
Because people gotta know.
People knew.
They did once the fight was over.
But also, they had some that I think look really good, and their pixel art ones not so much. I don't really enjoy the pixel art.
No, I don't either. Actually, no, I prefer the pixel art ones more than the CG ones, personally.
But yeah, no, Hulk would beat Doomsday. I'm sorry, that's just
not that you're biased, because it's not like
I'm biased.
Not that you love the Hulk a lot.
No, all right, my two favorite superheroes are the Flash and the Hulk, and it's not my fault. Those are the two superheroes who pretty much could beat anyone. It's not my fault that they're written that way. That's just the way it is.
You may be a bit too close to the material, Mikey.
No, I just actually use science. I know what science is.
Oh, no.
But honestly, yeah, decent enough movie. Better than the last few they've done, or at least the last few I've seen.
Fuck, that bar is not a high one, Mikey.
they've had a bad run of late, but people have been liking them. Apparently, another Suicide Squad one came out completely under the radar as well.
Yeah.
Which I apparently got good reviews, so I might check that
I
out. I still
know.
haven't seen Gotham by Gaslight.
That was fine.
But
I mean, the best I've ever came out with those DC movies is Mediocrity. Hurrah!
No,
Yet
I think
another
there were
one.
good ones. I think they were. I think they were in the
recent
first
ones.
few runs.
Yeah, it's been a long time since I've really enjoyed one.
Yeah, like also, can we please have one that's not Batman?
No.
Just not have him in it.
You've got Superman and Doomsday. There you go.
No, he's in it.
Oh, yeah, he is. Yeah, he is. I forgot.
And Damien, and that dog.
Yep.
The dog's in it.
The dog that's like 5 foot tall. And
That
I mean just like not including its back legs.
That's a very tall dog.
It's fucking like monstrously massive.
It's like that's based off Ace from Batman Beyond. You're not Ace.
No.
Ace would kick the shit out of you.
They should have had the cow there instead.
Oh, I like the Bat Cow.
Yeah.
And I would love a scene of like this solemn staring out the window, a father and son bonding moment, and a cow standing next to them.
In a Batman suit?
Yeah.
Or-
Bat Cow is amazing.
Yeah.
But no, I've been thinking about it the last few weeks. Just like there are so many other movies you could do. We get it. You're terrified of doing any of them because Batman, but you're killing him. You've ruined Batman.
Mm.
And the guy you've got doing Batman voice in most of these movies isn't great.
It's fine.
He's kind of bland.
Yeah.
He doesn't get the subtlety of low voice does not mean unemotional. It means that he don't raise his voice a lot. Like, oh man, you just go back to the 90s and think Batman the Animated Series, and you come in now and just like, why are you a thing?
It's one of those things.
Kevin Conroy, man.
Anything else, Mikey?
No, so I am absolutely rambling at the moment. Andy, what about you?
I haven't done a huge amount, in all honesty. Have I done anything? I bought another Warhammer game called Sanctus Reach. I don't think I mentioned that last week, did I?
No.
I bought that on the Steam sale, so I got the main game plus 3 of the DLCs for 22 quid. I was like, yep, that'll do. So I've been playing that a fair bit, having fun with that. Oh god, has my life actually been anything else of interest this week? I don't think it has, as usual. Just working, I suppose, technically. Yeah, so that's really about it, I'm afraid. I can't provide a huge amount of real interesting things. I'm trying to look through past... I've restarted watching Deep Space Nine, but, you know... Yeah, what can you say about that? But it's a fucking great show. Love it. Love it. Keiko wanted to open a school yesterday, Mikey, when I watched the episode.
Doesn't get to.
No, she
Not
does.
for a while. She's not for a while.
No, it's like episode 2, she opens the school.
I thought it was like she tried to open the school at the end of season 1.
No, I think it gets blown up near the end of season 1.
Ah, okay.
She gets it set up and, you know, after she fucking... I feel bad for Miles. Like, Keiko's such a fucking handful. I couldn't fucking tolerate Keiko. She's always bitching. And she, like, literally in DS9, she is always bitching at Miles. Always.
Yeah.
There's a reason why he hung around with someone he hated and became best friends with him. Because it was either that or go home to Keiko bitching at him some more. You know, Mikey, I think with that, we may as well just call it an end because I can't think of anything interesting to talk about, unfortunately. Yeah?
Yeah.
Right. Well, thank you, Mr. Mikey, for joining us this week. I will be planning to get out the IDW retrospective you did with Charles and all the other peeps on Thursday. I was going to put it out last week, but there were too many podcasts that week, and I didn't just want to flood people's like downloading things with too many Moonbase 2 things, otherwise they just get buried. So that will be out hopefully on Thursday. The Patreon episode went up either today or yesterday. I can't remember. Days are kind of mushing together. It went up yesterday. Okay. And that was me and Gruff talking about Games Workshop stuff. So, yeah, Mikey, where can people find you on the internet if you want them to?
You can find me on Twitter as Irish Paleo, on YouTube as Evil43. You can contact us on the Moonbase2 on Twitter or at themoonbase2@gmail.com. And relating to stuff coming out, at some point in the next week or 2 weeks, we will have an interview with John Barber come out. I spoke to him during the week, and we have much to talk about. And I think the key question on all of our lips is why did you pick the wrong Star Trek?
Yes. Yep. Pretty much.
So he will answer that and more.
Good.
Andy, what about you?
You can find me on Twitter and Tumblr, CCTFW, on YouTube as Corporate Commander TFW. You can find this podcast on the Moonbase 2 forums. We're on Twitter, we're on iTunes, we're on Facebook, we're on Libsyn, we're on YouTube as well as the Moonbase 2 Transformers podcast. And if you want to help us out, you can head over to patreon.com/moonbase2 and do $2 each month, and you get a extended version of From the Files of Teletran 2. You get it a week early as well. Yes, I was just like, is that true? Yes. You get Moonbase Woo Woo, where we talk about things not Transformers related. And you get things like the interviews a week early as well. So you can just head over there. And if you want to head over to ccbunker.weebly.com, that's where other stuff of mine goes up. There's a big backlog of things when I remember to put them there. So yeah, cheers, Mikey, for joining us. And I guess we will catch you next week, everybody.
I can't think of anything to say. I'm looking at a bird out the window.
Yay!
You are now leaving Moonbase 2.